Okay, hi, we're back, and we want to talk a little bit about the generic student logins for each school. Um, as we said before, in the past, I know from middle school, each school has had their own generic login for students to just kind of pull down the textbook online and pull up worksheets and be able to complete homework assignments that maybe the teacher has assigned. Um, for high school, we have a very generic one. If you notice, it has the first initials of every high school plus the grade level and then math. The password will be password. For middle school, because there were some already generated and we were trying to get consistency, we had to get a little bit more creative, but it's still very simple. And once again, the password is password. Students, this will work exactly the same for students as it has in the past. Eventually, this will be linked to your school website, but as for now, if the students go on under Weebly, this will work perfectly fine as long as they can get to my.hrw.com. Okay?
One thing to note about this, generic logins log a student in as the school name. So like the school WRHS 9 math. When a kid goes online and types in WRHS 9 math and the word password, they are actually able to access pretty much everything, the online component of the textbook. The difference is that if they log in generically, your ability to manage the classroom and to give tests and or quizzes to these students, that is gone. Okay, that these are the username and passwords that you will use if you're not trying to use the classroom management side of the online component of the Holt textbooks. Okay, so this is just where they would go. Parents can go there. To be honest, since this will probably be on your websites, pretty much anybody could go there. They just can't take any of the tests and do that kind of thing online where you can track who took what. Okay, because everybody who signs in is going to be using the same password for that. But if you don't choose to do the online component of classroom management, and you choose not to do exam view where you can upload tests and administer them and assign them to students, this is just a great place for them to go that's generic and everybody uses the same password. Okay, but if you do want to use the classroom management stuff, you've got to add the kids to your own personal username and to the own your classrooms that you set up and assign content through to them directly that way. One thing that you can do, I guess, is there are pre-existing tests that are already on there under assignments for the generic logins. Um, Kids could take those. You just can't track who took what. But they can use those online quizzes and tests and to test themselves to make sure they're ready and that kind of thing. Now, let me caution you against the pre-existing tests. A lot of the Holt material is very low depth of knowledge, very low rigor. Okay? If you use that material exclusively, you're pretty much phoning it in and you're guaranteeing these kids are not going to be ready for the end of course test or the CRCT. Okay? If you rely on those, you're going to be in trouble. So it's great stuff to use for extra practice, for kids to make sure they understand, you know, kind of surface level understanding and knowledge, but do not rely exclusively on the online assessments to prep your kids for tests or for your standardized test at the end of the year.